Other news at the Sawa Legal Matters, police officer Mandla Masondo is now testifying as a state witness. This is in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial that is occurring in the High Court in Pretoria. 5 men are currently on trial for the murder of the soccer star who was shot and killed back in 2014. Meyiwa was at Kelly Khumalo's mother's house in Vosloorus, which is east of Johannesburg, when he was shot. Masondo says that he was investigating a different case that involved Tobisi Mncube, accused number 3 in the matter. Masondo says that they arrested Mncube where he stayed in Malvern, Cleveland. This was in February of 2015 for possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. Well, let's listen into those court proceedings currently underway.
There's no law which says I can expand the record.
I could have used the wrong terminology.
What? This is so.
I should have said maybe the court should actually ignore.
I can't even ignore it. It's there.
That is exactly.
You can argue. Yes, fine.
That is exactly the same, the same approach, my lord.
Yes.
The fact that the state was expected to lead particular evidence at a particular point, and then they omitted, or they chose consciously so, not to lead that evidence, and because they realized that that might not be good for the cause that they want to take in the course of proving their case beyond a reasonable doubt, then they want to reintroduce new evidence. That is also prejudicial to the cause of the accused person, my lord, because as I've said initially, that would basically mean that I will have to re-cross-examine on that particular new aspect.
There's no problem, you can do that again. Unfortunately, that case binds me.
As it pleases the court.
Binds me. It's an AG case. It says one shouldn't take advantage of a mistake or a benefit. Okay?
As it pleases the court.
Let your colleague continue, and then if you think you want to follow
My lord, just one more. However, we have not heard from the state whether this portion of evidence was omitted by mistake or what.
What do you think?
No, I can't speculate, my lord. But it has not been placed on record. Why that crucial evidence, my lord? Remember, it's on the issue of the constitutional rights, which were not explained. It was crucial on the part of the state. Now the state that is given an opportunity to rectify that without stating the reasons why that should happen. It's unprocedural, my lord. That's my submission.
Okay, you've heard my ruling. You can continue.
As a court, please, my lord.
And you know what?
Yes.
It's such a minor aspect because Mr. Nisi says this case has got nothing to do with the Vosloorus case.
Yes.
That's your submission.
The Alexander case.
Alexander case or the Vosloorus case? Yes. Or the Cleveland case. When you stood up, when you made your objection, I was listening to you. You said this case, this evidence, has got nothing to do with the Cleveland case. You remember? Yes, before you mentioned Alexander. Uncle from me.
As it pleases the court.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Court, please. At which point did you explain his rights to him?
The time we were approaching him, introducing ourselves to him, explaining him that we are charging for, we were looking for him for the Alexander matter. He explained his rights fully, and he understood.
Ngalesikhathi ke siya kuyena umsola sichaza kuyena simazisa ukuthi ke simfunela icala leli lase Alexander ilapho khona ke amalungelo akhe ngomthetho sisekelo namchazela ngokuphelele wawezwa futhi.
Yes, what was the extent of that explanation?
What I can say, after explaining those rights, he took us to his room.
Yes, but what did you say? What did you explain to him?
His rights to remain silent, his right to have a legal representation. If he doesn't have one, the state will help him with. His right to be detained and taken to court within 48 hours.
Lamalungelo ke phakathi ke ilungelo lakho lokuthula angasho lutho, ilungelo loba nommeli uma kuwukuthi ummeli akanaye umbuso uzomsiza, ilungelo lokuthi ke uzothathwa ke noma ke uzoyovalelwa ke bese ukuthi kwisikhathi ke samahora awu 48 abese uyovela enkantolo.
In which language did you communicate with him?
We were communicating in isiZulu because I'm a Zulu.
Mina naye ke sasikhuluma isiZulu ngoba ngiwumZulu.
Did he understand his rights?
Yes, my lord, he understood.
Futhi ke wawezwa ke lawo malungelo uma ngichazela.
Now, were you able to establish, you mentioned that the accused pointed out a room amongst others. Were you able to establish who the landlord of that place was?
No, I didn't establish.
Ukuthi ke wayeqashe kubani ke lapho ehlala khona ke cha angizange ngikuthole lokho.
And in cross-examination by accused number 3 counsel, you did mention that it's Sergeant Dlamini who found the firearm. Where the firearm was found, was it easily visible?
The firearm was easily visible. If you just peep on the wardrobe, you'll just see the firearm lying there.
La esasikhona ke noma esathola khona uDlamini isibhamu sasibonakala nje kalulu ukuthi nje uma uphophola khona lapho usibona.
Now, in cross-examination by accused number 3 counsel, he asked you that you could not, after having been unable to locate him at the initial place, you then went to look for him. Now, how far is that initial place where you went to look for him to his room?
It can be more or less 5 kilometers.
Ngathi nje ibanga la esaqala sayomfuna khona qala ke nala ahlala khona ama kilometer awu5.
Also, in cross-examination by accused number 3's counsel, you testify when he asked you as to whether the ownership of the specific firearm was traced to a specific person. You answered that the ownership of the firearm was established as belonging to a person who worked for Fidelity at Centurion.
I said it was honored by the juristic person. Juristic person, Fidelity Card Company.
Oh yes, thank you. Sorry.
Mayelana nesibhamu ke lesi esatholakala uma ummeli ebebuza ke umbuzo ukuthi sakhona yini ukuthi sithole ukuthi ubani umnikazi wazo ngishilo ukuthi umuntu ke company leyo eyakwa Fidelity.
Was a statement then obtained on behalf of the company?
No, but we did approach the company to find out what happened with the firearm, and then they give their explanation.
Saya ke kuyona inkampani leyo ke Fidelity basichazela ukuthi ufuna ukwazi ukuthi kwenzekani ngesibhamu base besinika ke besichazela ke lokho abakusho.
Yes, and what were the circumstances of the loss?
They said they thought the firearm was still
That's hearsay, my lord. You can't.
It was elicited by the defense, but I will not persist with that line of inquiry. You were also asked as to whether there's any connection between this firearm and the Foslorus case, and you mentioned that you would have mentioned that. Were you part of the investigation in the Foslorus case?
No, objection. That was not my question, my lord. That was not my question. I said, as per his request in Exhibit W3, X3, he requested that the firearm should, an investigation should be embarked upon to determine whether are there any cases that this firearm were linked with, and then he said yes. Then I specifically said to him, did your results inform you that this firearm were linked with First Lawrence case? And then he said no. Yes.
Yes, Mr. Maloney.
Well, that's precisely what we are asking the witness. I'll just perhaps rephrase it. Now, once you've handed in the firearm at ballistics, do you have anything to do with the process further?
Yes, it's to wait for the reports from the firearm, from the ballistic, and that report will lead me where to go.
We'll continue to monitor developments as that case is underway at the High Court in Pretoria. Senzo Meyiwa murder trial underway.